Alright, so the Parallel Infernal Tempest deck revolves around Parallel World Fusion. All I did was make a deck that would use this card, well, how could I put this? That actually uses this card as one of its main focuses. Because what I used to do when I had all my other Yu-Gi-Oh games back before, this was a long time ago, I don't know, I've been playing Yu-Gi-Oh since it came out when I was in 4th grade. And I bought every single game that came out for it. Anyways, I would just choose a card I liked but wasn't very good, and I would build an entire deck around it. And that's what I did with this, with Parallel World Fusion, because I thought it would do good. So at first, I immediately thought of using Fusion Gate because it seems like it would be the best choice of Parallel World. Or a variation with Macros Cosmos to remove from play a whole bunch of cards. Or just a variation that revolved around using like DD War Ladies or the DD Warriors and E-Heroes and remove them from play and then use those with Parallel World Fusion. But that didn't really work too well without a Macros Cosmos and using DD Survivor. So I eventually just came across Inferno Tempest while looking through a list of things for effects that remove from play. And I remembered my Inferno Tempest deck I had back when I used to play, and I actually had the physical deck with Necroface, because there's a OTK that revolves around using Necroface that you can't do anymore because she's banned, limited. And for good reason, because at 3 she was totally broken with Inferno Tempest. Because what you would do is activate Inferno Tempest, removes from play all monsters in your deck and graveyard, which would include Necroface, and the Necroface's effect would go off after Inferno Tempest went into effect. So if your opponent had at least 15 monsters in their deck, like most people do, then Necroface would remove another 15 for all 3 Necroface. So they would lose 30 cards from their deck, from all their monsters getting removed and all the 15 from the 3 Necrofaces, plus 5 from their opening draw, which would take that up to 35 plus 6. So they would only have like 4 cards that you'd have to mill before you won. So yeah, it was a really, really fun deck to play. I still have it, but you can't use it anymore because you only have one Necroface. So you need Grinder Golem and Lava Golem, and I still have all those. But for this one, I only use Grinder Golem. No Lava Golems, he was just annoying to use. And then I found out just using Rescue Rabbit with it, because why not? Because you have the Elemental Hero Command you can bring out with Rescue Rabbit to bring out a rank 4 Blade Armor, Phantom. I usually just use it for, what's this guy's name? Maystroke, the Symphony de Jin. Yeah, he's the best. I usually bring him out if I use Rescue Rabbit on my first turn. Otherwise, I use another one based on the situation. Shockmaster and Kusanagi. I think Shockmaster is better, but they're both pretty good if you want to stop your opponent from using traps. Oh, so anyway, back to the deck. I only have these 6 normal monsters in here because of Rescue Rabbit. You should know what Rescue Rabbit does by now. You sacrifice him. Well, not sacrificing. You remove him from play. Special summon 2 normal monsters of the same name from your deck. So whenever you run Rescue Rabbit, you want to run at least 2 different normal monsters and run them at 3. And then Grinder Golem, because you use him for Infernal Tempest. You special summon him to your opponent's side of the field. You special summon 2 tokens to your side of the field in attack mode. Both have 0 attack and 0 defense. And all you do is attack Grinder Golem, and then you can activate Infernal Tempest from your hand to activate its effect, because you can only use this card when you take 3,000 battle damage from 1 attack, which this card fulfills by itself. So these 2 combo together to remove from play all cards. And then once all your cards are removed from play, you use Parallel World Fusion to fuse your remaining, because you also have your Elemental Heroes that are normal, plus triple Alias and Stratos, and double Bubble Man, just so you can bring out Absolute Zero. Plus Bubble Man is really good. I have another deck that's all about using Bubble Man. You should check that one out. It's awesome. And what was I talking about? Yeah, Inferno Tempest, Parallel World Fusion to fuse those cards, return them back to your deck, so that you can special summon one of these cards. Basically, you're going to be bringing out Shining, because you get 300 attack for each removed from play Elemental Hero monster. So you can easily get above 5,000 attack with all these Elemental Heroes removed from play with Inferno Tempest. When the card you want to send back to your deck with Parallel World Fusion would be a Bubble Man and an Alias, not Stratos. What you want to do is add Stratos to your hand with Shining's effect after he's destroyed, because your opponent's only going to be drawing traps and spells once you remove from play all the cards. And chances are they're going to get rid of Shining really fast because he's a huge beat stick. And if they don't, well, that's good. That's great. You can just use them to run over your opponent. If not, they'll destroy him and you add Stratos back to your hand. Stratos and probably another Bubble Man or an Alias. And then you just summon Stratos and add a Bubble Man or Alias that you return to your deck with Parallel World Fusion. And then you have Rescue Rabbit, which is just for if this deck goes sour, they stop your Inferno Tempest. And the rest, it's just a couple staples. I should add Monster Reborn in here, but I would think that no, it's good. I should add Monster Reborn in here. Just take out one of Common Charities because this card sucks. Don't put it in your deck. I just haven't really found a replacement for it yet. But basically anything else could work besides Common Charity. I just thought since I have normal monsters, you don't want them in your hand because they're kind of useless. But Common Charity is just terrible. Miracle Fusion, obviously. You don't want to run 3. You could if you want, but I just got 2. Because it's all about Parallel World Fusion, so you don't want to overshadow it with Miracle Fusion. Dark Hole, obviously. Double Duality, just to set up your combo, because you need 2 cards specifically. Well, 3, including Parallel World. So this is like a 3-card combo deck. And then obviously, triple Inferno Tempest. Obviously, triple Grinder Golem. Day of Peace. You can activate this after you attack, so that you don't take any battle damage your next turn. So what you do is, because this card special summons 2 tokens, and you can run one of them into Grinder Golem, and then activate Peace after you attack. That way, you don't take any more damage. Or that's what Draining Shield is for, because you're going to be taking a lot of damage. What is that one other card called? Something Z. It's a trap. Z. Nutrient Z. Yeah, that one works too. If you take, what is it? This card will be activated in your opponent's damage step. During this turn, if the battle damage would be 2,000 or more points, increase your life points by 4,000 before the damage is subtracted. Yeah. This could work when you suicide your token into him, or Scapegoat. That's like a backup plan if they manage to find out what you're doing and destroy your tokens with a Mirror Force. Scapegoat and ram one of those into it. And yeah, Nutrient Z could probably work in place of Drain Shield, but this is basically after the combo has gone off, and you don't want to take any more damage because you're going to be really low on life points. Yeah, Scapegoat, I just told you why. Return from a different dimension. Obviously, you want this in your deck because you remove from play all your monsters, so you can bring out 5, which basically would just be like a Stratos, a Bubble Man, and like 3 Neos Aliases. Common Charity sucks. You remove this from your deck. Draining Shield, great to recover your life points. And double Dark Bribe and Trap Stun. No Solemn Judgment or Solemn Warning, because your life points are going to be low enough. You don't want to cut them in half, because this deck revolves around taking at least 3,000 damage. So Trap Stun and Dark Bribe, because you don't really care what they have in their hand, because they won't have any monsters left. And Trap Stun, Dark Bribe probably work the best. I can't really think of anything else that works better without having you discard cards or pay life points. And then for your extra deck, this is very important for this deck. At least one of each of the elemental fusions, that require one of the elements plus an elemental hero. One of each plus a Shining. You want double or triple Shining, but double has always worked for me. I've never actually needed the third one. And yeah, you don't really need double of anything else. And then just a whole bunch of rank 4 monsters, because that's how you run this deck if they stop your combo with Bubble Man and Alias, and using the normal monsters with Rescue Rabbit. Usually you bring out Dijin on your first turn if you get a Rescue Rabbit in your hand. Otherwise you bring out another one depending on your situation. Blade Armor Ninja is great in this because he's just great. You can attack twice, and you need 2 level 4 warrior type monsters, and all your level 4 types are warrior type. And then the extra deck, this isn't a real extra deck, this is just cards I was going to use when I was first building the deck. And that's my Parallel World Inferno Tempest deck. It's really fun to play. You should check it out if you have time.